one of the other big themes of your book, it mentions in the description how this is kind of a travelogue, and I remember looking back and watching an interview or a debate, I guess, between you and a polar bear. And so you being on the ground and really scoping out and talking to people and seeing what's going on during these Democratic primaries, what are some things that you discovered behind the scenes that the establishment media never picked up on and reported that people should know?
That polar bear interview was rather memorable.
Very memorable.
Yeah. I mean, the most interesting thing was really how the establishment media is covering up Joe Biden's frailty. And I'll tell you how that cover-up happens in two ways. First of all, we went to 11 or 12 debates. I think it was 11. And there's a spin room after every debate. And almost every candidate comes to the spin room and talks to the journalists, at least once. I interviewed Bernie Sanders in the spin room. He wasn't there all the time, but he was there some of the time. Elizabeth Warren came from time to time, Kamala Harris. Pete Buttigieg would come to the spin room, but he wouldn't talk to the journalists. He just talked to the anchors on news shows, prearranged interviews. He didn't take spontaneous questions, but at least he showed up. Joe Biden never once came to the spin room. You could not ask him a question. He would not answer a spontaneous question from a journalist in the spin room. I think that's partly because he was afraid of gaffes, but also because it was just too late. It was past his bedtime. And the media didn't really report on that. They also tried to hush up what Democrats themselves were asking about when it came to Joe Biden's fitness for office. I mean, in the Houston debate, I think it was, in September 2019, Julian Castro said that Joe Biden had trouble remembering something he had said 2 minutes before. And the audience kind of gasped, but everybody knew what he was talking about. And in the spin room afterward, Cory Booker said, it's a real concern. It's a real legitimate question. And that was just never brought up again. And there were other weird episodes like Joe Biden having a burst blood vessel on a CNN town hall on climate change. I mean, these things happened and they're going to impact the way people vote, or they ought to be impacting the way people vote, because after all, if it was legitimate to talk about John McCain's age in 2008, it's certainly legitimate to talk about Joe Biden's age. He's older than McCain was and in poorer health. So I think that's one of the big cover-ups. The media just don't want to talk about it.